Wow, have things changed dramatically in the home arcade 1up world and YouTube. If you don't follow it closely as the rest of us, don't worry. I'll fill you in on the insanity and pure lunacy of this 3/4 scale arcade community. The first thing you need to know is a new company in the home arcade has been introduced by former Arcade 1up employee John D. And in this video, I have information and a leaked photo of what his company is working on. Now, John D's history in the 3/4 scale arcade community is infamous and too much to even summarize in this video. His social media antics, as well as his failed obscure license contracts for new cabinets, caused him to be terminated by Arcade 1up. Now, if you don't know John D, it doesn't matter, but he was known as the Arcade 1up puppet master who controlled 1up YouTuber influencers and controlled their content and their opinions.
I will do whatever you ask.
Good. Recently, he has been having his YouTube influencers do videos on Arcade 1up that were less than flattering and putting Arcade 1up in a bad light. He's been planting the seed to spread hate on Arcade 1up as the man behind the curtain.
Do you presume to criticize the great
John D?
You ungrateful creatures think yourselves lucky that I'm giving you audience. Oh, the great
John D
has spoken. Oh, pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
He has leaked proprietary Arcade 1up info to these YouTubers with a quid pro quo of scratch your back with info, scratch mine with social media hype. And hype this they have. In a complete 180, the same YouTubers who loved Arcade 1up and said they were great are now calling 1up low quality garbage and are ready to get rid of all their 1ups to buy this new home arcade product. John D is one reason for the change in heart of these influencers, but there is also another reason that 1up YouTuber shills have pivoted from Arcade 1up. It's because Arcade 1up has changed their tune about them. In a stunning turn of events, Arcade 1up is now petitioning for new social media influencers. Out with the old and small and in with the famous and big YouTubers. This total disregard and spurning of these YouTubers who spent 4 years kissing the butt of Arcade 1up were now left in the dust. Arcade 1up is now accepting applications of new influencers to join their team. And the one caveat that disqualifies all these former 1up shills is that you need 50,000 subs to be part of their program. These YouTubers have totally turned on their base and Arcade 1up simply because they cannot get free cabs, proprietary information, and no early access to info and news. Well, now that Arcade 1up has moved on from them, and now that John D has told these YouTubers 1ups are garbage, they are spreading the narrative in hopes of being one of John D's influencers. Over the past week, it's basically been one sad audition for who could suck up to John D the most. And let me tell you, they are all winning. The amount of hype they are trying to produce for this new product and company, which is called 1up LLC, is incredible. Video after video and 3-hour streams on basically no information other than we all need something better than Arcade 1up, even though they've filled their houses with 20 plus 1ups over the past 5 years, and they were perfectly fine for 5 years. It's incredible the control John D has over them, but make no mistake, they will convince you you need this. And what is it? Well, I have the scoop for you and a leaked photo with information. Take a look at this leaked photo or flyer or some mock-up that shows what they are working on. It appears 1up LLC will be manufacturing a close to full-size arcade HS5 from this image, but it's also rumored that the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 will also be done in a big blue format. These cabs will be approximately 90% to scale, not as deep and slightly less wider and as tall as the originals, but almost identical design. In this leaked flyer, you can see the designs, you can see the featured art and the featured titles. That's right, one being Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and the other being Third Strike. These cabs will have hap controls and buttons and cherry micro switches, but they are looking to possibly switch to IL Euro sticks. This will be a build-it-yourself with cam locking system, similar to Game Room Solutions or an Arcade 1up. It will come with 1 to 4 games included, but they are working on a store where you can add more games with purchase. Online play is currently being worked on, but it will be peer-to-peer with a limited lobby function. This will be available sometime in 2025, but at this point, not in retailers. It will be direct ordered, and the initial price, I'm told, has been targeted at $5.99 plus shipping. So what are my thoughts on this? Well, it looks like it will be a much better quality than 1ups, but large arcades are too heavy and take up too much space. This also appears to be just another arcade that almost all of us already have. For 5 years, arcade 1ups were great and the perfect size, weight, and had all the games we needed. So why do we need another arcade for games we can already play on our current machines, and even online on arcade 1ups? With the Capcom collections coming out and all these fighting game collections online already for under $60, why spend $600 or more on arcades anymore? Well, one thing I can guarantee is the same arcade 1up influencers who were dumped by 1up and now have hitched their wagon to John D will do anything to keep the hype alive and convince you that this is the next best thing since sliced bread. So if you're going to buy another arcade, don't fall for the FOMO by these influencers who are only in it for one thing: their subs and their views and their free product. Hey, thanks for watching The Rexer Show. Leave a comment and a thumbs up.